Hey Bedros, I'm 44 years old and I think I'm going through a midlife crisis. I feel depressed and my wife says she wants a divorce. What do I do?
Right. The old midlife crisis. So people think that a midlife crisis shows up as the guy who all of a sudden his kids are older, they leave the house, they're off in college, and
He buys a motorcycle.
he buys a motorcycle, maybe the bright Corvette or something, right? Convertible, and he's cruising around trying to feel young again.
Yeah.
That is one version of a midlife crisis. Another version of a midlife crisis can be, I just got bored with my life and started making a string of bad decisions. And those string of bad decisions start off with what seem like benign, non-threatening decisions. I'm just staying awake a little longer. I'm just watching a little porn. Oh, I just started smoking weed again every night to fall asleep. I'm just having a couple of cocktails to take the edge off. But before you know it, the slippery slope begins and you string together a bunch of bad habits, and then you reach your 40s, maybe 50s, and you have some kind of a crisis because your wife's like, dude, we don't go out anymore. You're, spending a lot of time on porn. We're not, in a financially great place anymore like we used to be. Life got more expensive and you're still making the same amount of money and you're now trying to escape with alcohol and weed. And so I think I want a divorce. Like, I don't know what led to this guy's divorce, but what I can tell you is a midlife crisis shows up either through a string of poor decisions you made or a decision that someone else made that impacts you, right? In this case, his wife wants a divorce. He's 44. He feels blindsided. Or it could be just life. There's winning seasons and losing seasons like we always talk about, and you might be in an elongated losing season. And that losing season could be like in my case, my mom died September of 2023. A few months before that, I tore my tricep. A month and a half after my mom died, my son's best friend died, Cap, who was 18 years old. There was like a string of, and then my hernias. Then I'm like, oh my God, I've got 2 hernias that I've got to deal with. I can't even get out of bed without being in pain. And so at 50 years old, it's like in a year and a half, 2-year period, there was a string of like pretty unfortunate things that happened to me. And I was like, man, for a moment, I started thinking to myself, is this it? Like, am I getting old and this is how I deteriorate? Am I over the hill? I was like, wait a minute, dude. If you isolate each thing by itself, your mom had dementia. She was going to die. A very unfortunate thing happened to that young man, Andrew's best friend, and he passed away. I was boxing with Andrew and my tricep tore. I was doing combatives, and you do get injured when you're working out or in combatives. And then guess what? I'm new to jujitsu, and so I got a double hernia. I probably had a light hernia, my doctor says, but that hernia got even worse when someone's trying to slam you down on your back and you're trying to use your abs to get up. So every one of those things by itself is just like, oh, I could deal with that. But when they come as a string, I felt like I was going through a crisis for like a year and a half, 2 years. What I told myself is stay the course. Still work out the best you can. Most people will go, I'm injured, I got a shoulder injury, so I can't work out. Bro, you could still train back, you can train legs, you can train arms, maybe you can't train shoulders, right? Or in my case, I had a hernia, so I can't do a lot of free weights, so I was doing a lot of machines. I wasn't doing jujitsu, so I ended up doing more hikes to be able to burn the calories that I wasn't burning on the jujitsu mats. My mom passed away. I kept myself busy by serving more people and talking about her memory and her legacy on my show. It was very healing. And so I took all these positive steps to get me out of the crisis. So whether it's a midlife crisis or whether it's a crisis you put yourself into, whether it's a crisis that was thrown on you because of a death or a disease or a divorce, the answer is this. There's 2 ways to cope with it. Hey guys, quick interruption to the Bedros Keuilian show. I took some time to go to the local juice stores here in town, and I bought all these different ginger, turmeric, and wellness shots. Now, they range anywhere from $3.69 all the way to $4.05. And to be honest with you, they all suck. Why? Because they do not have anywhere near the wonderful ingredients of the Keuilian Wellness Shot. First of all, to build your immune system and keep your immune system strong, Keuilian Wellness Shot is packed with vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. And also to help you fight off inflammation, it is packed with turmeric, ginger, and black pepper. And to keep you hydrated, Keuilian Wellness Shots have sodium, potassium, and magnesium. This is the ultimate morning supplement. Just take 1 packet, pour it in 4 ounces of water, and shoot it, and you're good to go. Best of all, $1.69 per packet instead of twice the price of those other inferior ones. I want you to get 50% off your first 30-day supply. So go to Keuilian.com, use my name, Bedros, and you can get 50% off plus free shipping, a 30-day money-back guarantee, and and $1 gets donated to Shriners Children's Hospital. Best of all, if you like the Keuilian wellness shots, and I know you will, like thousands of other people who are part of the Keuilian tribe, every month we'll send you a new supply at 20% off, free shipping. So go to Keuilian.com, use my name Bedros, and get your 50% discount code before it goes away. Back to the show. You can cope with it the negative way. I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna smoke, I'm gonna hand wring over it, stress over it. I'm gonna stop doing the things that are healthy for me, like working out, eating right, surrounding myself with positive friends and who uplift my energy and spirit. Those are all negative. The positive things are, I'm gonna stay the course the best I can. Yes, I got an injury, but I can still work out. You know what? My mom passed away. I'm gonna talk about her legacy and live a better life to honor the fact that she and my dad risked their lives to bring me here, right? There's positive ways to cope. You know what? All right, I can't train as hard, so I'm gonna adjust my diet, eat even cleaner so that I don't get fat, because if I get fat, I get more depressed. So there's coping methods. Yes, it is easier to lean towards the coping methods that are vices, alcohol, porn, TV, social media, distractions, escapes. Those are easier to go to. They don't take a lot of effort. To get in the car, drive to the gym takes a lot of effort. To meal prep and get your food together for the week to maintain those abs takes a lot of effort. To figure out a new way of living without your mom in your life takes a lot of effort. To figure out a new training program because your old training program you can't do because you're hurt, takes a lot of effort. But if you do those things, and then when you come out of this losing season, because all crises, midlife or not, have an end. They have an expiration date. You're either going to come out of it sooner and go back to a winning season, or you're going to elongate it by making a string of bad decisions and go deeper and deeper and deeper until you hit rock bottom and then try and climb out of that deficit. So why take the negative path of coping when you can actually do the positive thing? Whether it was a divorce like this guy. So now this guy needs to go, all right, she wants a divorce. If I can save this relationship, if I want to save it, I'm going to try. Excuse me. If I can't save this relationship, how can I become a better man and find a better spouse for the future? What was my role in screwing up this marriage? Maybe there was no role. Maybe she was just like, you know what? I married the wrong guy. It hit me 20 years later that I married the wrong guy. Peace. Now that the kids are gone, I'm out. By the way, 70 some odd percentage of divorces are triggered by women and not men. And so men are being ambushed by divorces left and right. So a divorce can very easily, like this guy, trigger a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
But he needs to go, how do I become the best version of myself? How do I attract the next best spouse in my life, if that's what he wants? What can I do to find time or take the time that I have, this new time that I'm going to have, and occupy it with positive things, right? Is there a new skill I'm going to learn? Is there a new tribe I'm going to surround myself with? Is there a new path that I want to go now because I don't have the responsibility of a wife? So maybe I want to start a new business. I want to become an actor. I want to do my first bodybuilding show, whatever it is you want to do. But fill that time up with positive stuff, because if you don't, it's easy to go down the path of vices and negativity, and then next thing you know, you're a deadbeat and you're shacking up with a toothless hooker.